We've all heard of .exe games, right? You know, spooky, scary, make you pee your pants. They were mostly popular about 9 to 7 years ago with everybody playing them because it was the new horror craze. There's still a lot being made today, even recently, like Skibidi.exe. What the hell is this? People love them, and rightfully so. I used to dabble in the .exe games when I was younger, you know, watching Markiplier play them. These types of games have always been kind of fascinating to me in a way. They used to be the scariest games you could possibly play, and now they're kind of Some are still very good, don't get me wrong, but again, Skibidi.exe. I love them, you love them, at least I hope. So why not talk about some of the games from back then? I do admit though, .exe games have been kind of run to the ground now with them becoming worse and worse over time, but we'll get into that later. Before the video starts, I have just one question, just one quick question. Have you subscribed yet? If not, trust me, it's totally fine, but it's not. It's not fine. So maybe click the little subscribe button and possibly click the like button too. And we get a Discord server. It's great. Alright, sorry for annoying you. I'll let you watch the video now. Sonic.exe was one of the first EXEs really, and before we get into the game, it has way more lore to it than you'd probably think. I originally thought, ooh, Sonic's spooky, but nope, there's more. Sonic.exe is also considered a creepypasta, which is a whole nother video that would be hours long. If you're confused, don't worry. I'm a little confused too. Supposedly, this kid named Tom was a big fan of Sonic. He loved it. He then received a disc from his friend Kyle with a note saying to destroy the disc before it's too late and to not play the game. And what does a kid do when someone tells them to not do something? They do something that they were not told to do. Tom, of course, a dumbass, plays the game anyways, and when he loads it up, it isn't the normal title screen. Sonic has a bloody face and is, well, a little spooky, I guess. Tom's still not giving a damn, continues on with the game, playing as the only character Tails. As he went on, he felt weird. There were dead animals everywhere, and he eventually met Sonic at the end of the level. Tails tapped Sonic on the shoulder, making sure, you know, his buddy was okay. Ah, what the f is that? So the screen cut to black quickly with the text popping up, hello, do you want to play with me? No you dumb bitch, I don't. Tom is still playing the game because he's stupid. So he loads up the second level and Sonic chases Tails until he eventually murders Tails. Next message pops up, you're too slow, wanna try again. Tom then played as Knuckles this time, but eventually got killed as well. So he takes a break from the game, Jesus Christ, finally. But he has nightmares, so he plays the game again, this time as Eggman. Big, spooky, scary, oopsie poopsie Sonic then appeared in front of Eggman and eventually killed him as well. It then turned to static and some more spooky text popped up, you know, as it does. Tom finds a bloody Sonic plushie on his bed, and then it says here that Tom committed suicide. So, yeah, that happened. There is an eventual sequel, which this time a detective called Derek Green investigates the case trying to find out who the hell killed Tom. Supposedly there's a cult, and even if you break that disc, there's still multiple copies, so you're screwed either way, really. Sonic.exe or EXE then takes over Derek's soul and, I don't know, does something with it. After researching this all, I'm really wondering what Jesus thinks about this. You know, like, that's a little fucked up. You know, like, you know, that's like a little messed up. You know? Yeah, so this makes some sense, but also no sense to me at the same time. Could be because I'm just stupid, I don't know. Back then, this was the scariest thing ever, okay? You were leaving piss stains on your seat after seeing this. Now that we've all grown up a bit and horror has become objectively scarier than this, it doesn't hit as hard, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, you hear that, Twitter? My fucking opinion. The story was made all the way back then in August of 2011, but the game was made about a year later or something like that. Now, the game fits the story pretty well. I mean, it's up to a T. Dead animals, check. Spooky text, check. Kinda scare realistic image of Sonic, check. Whenever I play this game again, I admit it did scare me like once or twice, but come on, I'm a pussy, we all know this.
Alright, I'm currently recording this at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Oh my fuck, dude. Actually, fuck off.
The game ends abruptly, but not in a bad way really. I kind of liked how it ended. The game popularized the creepypasta for sure, and even today it still kind of holds up a little. Okay, maybe not, but it's still fun and kind of scary. Also, look at this f***er's powers. I am not reading all that. Sonic.exe just really wants to kill anybody in his path, kind of like every creepypasta ever. Again, I know I've already made this comparison, but it was definitely scarier back then rather than now, because the more I read this, the more I want to kill myself. There's still a fandom for this creepypasta in more ways than one. He can be killed, but not with a gunshot or stabbing or anything like that. Sonic.exe is a fine game again. This is what started all the .exe games. And this is definitely some nerd shit, but it's fun, I guess. Sally.EXE is a lot like Sonic.exe, but it's Sally, so that means it's different. Sally.EXE was the sequel to the first game, being Sonic.exe, continuing the story, but also making it a lot more confusing, at least to me. The story is not only more confusing, but it's just stupider. So this guy, there's no name, is looking on eBay, and he finds a Sally plushie. Ah, scary. He also bought some DVDs for the Sonic show, and when he tried to use the DVD, it didn't work. But there were some files with it, so f*** it. let's get a virus. Sorry, it's hard to read this shit without cringing like a lot. He opened the exe file with the introduction music not sounding the same. Everything looked a little off, and yeah, it makes sense. You opened a random ass file. What did you expect? As the game started, it wasn't the normal Green Hill Zone. I mean, it kind of was, but like darker. Okay, you know what? I can't read this shit anymore. No offense to whoever wrote it, but I'm having aneurysms trying to read this. He can keep the $1 I gave him. I mean, it's just $1. You cannot read that without at least giggling. It's apparent either a 7-year-old wrote this or 2 7-year-olds wrote this. So the game is exactly like the story, really. You start as Amy, Sonic annihilates you, then you play as Cream, then she dies in a funny ass way. Then you play as Sally, and I'm guessing she dies as well. I don't know, this game serves like zero purpose, but alright, this one has definitely not held up. I would like to preface that these games are only really scary when you're playing with no music, no lights, and only yourself, like how I played it, so if I get scared, that's likely why. I never played this one back then, so it doesn't hold a close place in my heart like the other ones do. It was also a very short game, so yeah. Anyways, this one is fine, I don't know. Now, IHATEYOU.EXE is like a Mario/Luigi kind of EXE, but I don't know. Markiplier called it Mario.EXE, so if the shoe fits. You could really just explain this entire EXE as Luigi hates Mario. I mean, it's in the name. But of course, there's more to it, so I'll go in depth anyway. Also, what is this comment? Why did you write this? What? The game is way more toned down than the others with little blood, and it's not scary at all. You start off with it being pretty normal, you know, just going through a normal level it seems, still dying by this stupid boo. And just like that, the level's done. Pretty easy. After that, you proceed to another level called Oh God, no! And you start going through this small tunnel-like thing, but you're indestructible, which I don't really get. Maybe it has to do something with the lore, I have no clue. As you go on through the level, you start to see bloody text like I hate you and some other stuff, but Marcus Moo is unfazed as he continues on killing things in the process. Then after a bit of that, you enter one of the worst level types, a water level. Then you kill a bunch of thwompy woos, and after that, you see dead clones of yourself as they seem to follow you, which don't do anything, but like, they're there. You then get a big door or a creepy mushroom. If you touch the creepy mushroom, you die and get sent back to the level picking screen, with it now seeming like you're in hell. Not very kid friendly, if I do say so myself. You meet Luigi, which results in a boss battle, and eventually you kill him. I can't beat this, okay? I don't know what the hell it is, but I have such a hard time with this stupid thing. If you actually beat it, unlike me, Luigi then falls into the lava with the text, oh god no, or something like that. Hey, I'm just a boy, give me some slack. That's really all this .exe is. Luigi is being a jealous cunt, and that's the gist of it. I played this back in the day, and I didn't really get scared by it, but it spooked me a little bit. Now I just look at the screen and cry. There's 2 versions of this game, .exe and the ROM hack. I played the ROM hack because I couldn't find the actual game from all the way back then, so sorry. Pikachu.EXE or Uchakip, I don't know, it's just Pikachu spelled backwards. This one I played as well back in the year 2015. I couldn't find a lot of information on it really, and the only information I could find is the most bare bones shit, so I'll try and explain it fully myself. This one is one of the most dull games out there probably because it's based around an old ass Pokemon game, but still, modding was a thing in 2015. The game starts off with you in just an open field until you eventually find a fight, but it won't be normal because, of course, you're playing a .exe game. After you choose Pikachu, you get a spooky jump scare and life goes on. One more fight and another jump scare later, you're introduced to a title screen. I guess this is the intro to the game, but the game is so short, I really don't think you need this. Then another jump scare, and this one actually got me.
Is this still going?
You're now in the void with there being a multitude of options to choose from. If you pick the wrong one, whenever you pick the right one, you still get jump scared and then you hear a faint heartbeat sound. So then you go through a quick maze and boom, you're done with the game. That is literally all of the game. That is shorter than Sally.EXE was. It is said to be continued, but let's be honest, it's been 8 years. I do not think part 2 is coming out anytime soon. This one definitely spooked me when I was younger, mainly just because of the jump scares. It even scared the shit out of me now, to be honest. Okay, in a weird way, I kind of like this more than IHATEYOU.EXE. I know that might be controversial, but it's all opinions. Now this one, Sonic.EYX is like Sonic.EXE but longer, cooler technically, and just overall way better and more advanced. Probably should bring up that this came out in 2022, so that's probably a good reason why this is way better. Now I couldn't find a definite story on this game since it's kind of like a quote-unquote remaster of Sonic.EXE. You start off as Tails again by exploring Green Hill Zone, which looks very good, might I add. It took me a while to figure out what the f to do, but I got it eventually. Whenever you get to the end of the level, Sonic is there, but he runs off, and if you try to leave, a more disgusting Sonic pushes you away. So with that, you have to go all the way back to the start of the course and meet Sonic there. Let's play a quick game. Alright, A, you get to the start and Sonic is normal. B, Sonic isn't there and the game ends. Or C, you find Sonic and all your buddies having a surprise birthday party. If you chose any of those, you're stupid. It was D. Everything goes to shit. Knuckles then starts ridiculing you about things you haven't done or might have done. I don't know the whole story. Then Ray starts running for his dear life, with him eventually getting brutally murdered. You know, that's just Ray being Ray. Then after this, the game turns into the best Sonic mod I've ever played. If this was just a mod on its own with no horror elements, it would be amazing. I love this. I generally really like how it looks. But you're playing a horror game, so of course, everything isn't gonna be all happy doo-dah all the time. After a while, you randomly start getting chased by Sonic.EYX, I'm supposing. Then you see some more scary shit, and you have to play the level all over again, but this time it's spooky. No music, darkness floods the screen, and Sonic looks a little different. After one more jump scare, you go back into the world, but I died, so I had to restart the whole goddamn thing over again. Forgot to mention the scary shit I mentioned earlier is really cool because it like messes with your computer. Anyways, you beat the level and you move on to the next. Then you get launched to Eggman with the whole game breaking in front of your eyes. It closes your game, so then you have to restart it, which might I add, I think it's really cool how you have to restart the application at certain moments to progress. Very cool, very good game design. You're back as Tails, but a visibly more frightened Tails. And guess what? Just like every other character in these games, Tails dies too. One more jump scare later, and that's the game. Now there's definitely some more lore behind it, but for what it is, it's a pretty good recent EXE game. And don't pull that, it's called Sonic.EYX, not Sonic.EXE. Yes, I'm aware. Shut the fuck up. Overall, pretty cool game. Definitely improved the Sonic.EXE idea from years and years ago. I just found out about this game, by the way, and might I say, I'm glad I finally found it. Supposedly, there's supposed to be more, which I'm really excited to see, and this is one of the only really good EXEs of the recent couple years instead of, dare I say it again, Skibidi.EXE. Nowadays, other than Sonic.EYX, EXE games are shit. There were some bad ones back then, but now it's just been really pushed into everyone's skull. You got South Park.exe, Hello Kitty.exe, Patrick.exe, Toy Story.exe, SpongeBob.exe, Funkin.exe, Cars.exe, So you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of .exes. It's too much, holy shit. But I can't talk about there being too many .exe games when there's a billion more FNAF fan games, probably. I know I said I used to play .exe games back in the day, but I didn't play much, just like the popular ones. They didn't really seem replayable, at least to me. Which I don't think they were trying to be replayable, since it's just a one and done experience, so it lasts longer and scares you more. Because if you play it again, it's just gonna like, well, it's gonna ruin the whole game. I was always more of a FNAF fan game type of kid. Oh, wait a second. Future video possibly? Most of these .exes I've noticed started out as creepypastas instead of a game, but the game's definitely upped the popularity of them. These types of games weren't the first game pastas, if that's what you want to call them. I'm pretty sure the first game pasta was Bin Drowned, but I could be wrong on that. The only thing I have a problem with kinda is the freedom of these games, because there isn't much, you know? It's a set strategic outline that you have to follow. But who am I kidding? These games are never meant to be the best shit ever created. Just little 10 to 20 minute games that you can get a quick scare out of, and I respect that a lot. So yeah, that was it. I hope you liked it, and if you didn't, that makes me very sad. But I enjoyed going down the .exe path again. It was a fun experience, and a scary one too. EXE games will always be a staple in the horror genre, in my opinion at least, and I don't think they're gonna stop being made anytime soon. Also, I have no clue how to end this video, so put a funny meme here. I don't know.